You could not have scripted a better first game of this series. It looks like it's all over. Kings are absolutely buzzing. Then the Oilers come ripping back, and McDavid rips the soul out of their body. But wait, not so fast. In regulation, they still get the winner.
The boogeyman nearly silenced Crypto.com Arena, and I don't even know what it means for the series moving forward.
Ice is ready, and we are back with another episode of the Empty Netters podcast, brought to you by BetMGM. I am your host, Dan Powers, and alongside me, a man who once burst a tube of crazy glue in his mouth and lived to tell the tale, Chris Powers.
As always,
you wouldn't be able to say that. You wouldn't be able to say that if
correct.
If that
and
crazy glue
as
won.
also always, you were completely and totally unsupportive when that happened.
That's incredibly true. Not only did I not help you, I just insulted you the whole time.
Dude,
I was like, you're an idiot.
Oh my God.
But then again, what am I supposed to do? Wipe your mouth out with a paper towel?
Yeah, good question.
I'm not your mom. You're not a child.
Well, dude, I thought I was about
30.
to die.
Yeah, but again, if you were dying, if your mouth was sealing up with crazy glue, cement,
which is what I said was happening.
But you were so clearly talking it out to me. I was
my
like,
mouth is stuck shut.
Yeah,
forever.
I'm like, no, it's not. I can hear you talking to me.
Oh, that was crazy. Pun
Glue.
intended. Yeah, pun intended.
Yeah.
Damn, dude, I forgot about that. That sucked. And I was trying to squeeze more out of it for the people at home. I wasn't just eating it, but I had it in my teeth, and I was squeezing the back, and it burst out the back, and it the way it clung.
I would have
dental
freaked the
mold.
fuck out.
It was
oh yeah,
I was like,
I would have freaked the fuck
shit,
out,
dude. Because I can't even get my fucking fingers unstuck when you get that on there.
It's also on there forever.
Yeah, I was like, I'm going to deal with this for the rest of my life. And
Were you just when it
you.
happened? Were you just
dude? Yes, I was like, fuck, oh no, Rachel, and you were like, dude, fucking, you're a loser.
Shut up,
Uber's here, we have to go. And I was like, okay, dude, I'll never talk again. So,
oh man, you were 1 in a billion, sir.
yeah, well, one in 8.
Just like that fucking Edmonton Oilers LA Kings game.
Okay,
we're getting right into it. We got a lot to get into, guys. Playoff hockey. Here we are. Come on, baby. Let's fucking go. Keep it up now. Join in whenever. This is what it's all
about.
We've got so much to talk about.
Yes.
Tons of playoff stuff. But before we get into the game, we had something crazy happen at the game. Wags, you don't even know this.
Yeah, that's right.
Love going to games. Love whenever we're at any game, any arena with any fan base, because so many of you guys DM us, you chat with us, we all talk. We got one of the craziest DMs in the history of Empty Netters tonight.
Dude, and for the listeners that don't live near us, just to give some context of what you mean, people will be like, yo, I'm at the game too, because they see our stuff, and we will answer and be like, cool, I'll walk down. I'll be by 108 or something, or I'm walking the concourse, and we'll have interactions with fans in DM and then meet you. And it's hard to keep up with a lot of them. So sometimes Dan's just answering them and doesn't even show me. And then Dan gets one and he goes, dude, do I have to answer this? And I haven't seen it yet. So I'm kind of like, I don't know, dude. What is it? What could it possibly be that you're showing me? Do I need to answer this DM?
And boy, howdy. So we're posting all this stuff. People know, if you're at the arena, you can kind of get a gauge for where we're sitting. We're in a suite. Shout out Kings. Also, shout out Drew.
Shout out Drew.
Shout out my girl Drew. Works for the Kings. Beauty. Went down like a year. So the Kings sent us this shirt.
Yep.
So I'm wearing it. It was the wrong size.
Yep.
I brought it to the game. Drew grabbed my shirt, went down to the team store, and got a tongue lashing from someone.
Yeah.
About the exchange. But she was like, well, fuck you. I got to do this for my guy, Dan.
Yep.
So, Drew, you're the shit.
Homie.
Because here I am.
And I should add, we are not, we came right from the game.
Oh, yeah.
So I didn't mean to be an I'm not all
Yeah.
the Oilers fans. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah. We actually got another DM. Speaking of DMs, we got a DM from an Oilers fan that was like, dude, it's stop with the Kings. Dude, I'm a fucking sellsword, man. I've said that a million times.
Send me some merch.
We're in LA. The Kings are nice to us because they're a fucking unbelievable stand-up organization and they bring us to games. So when I'm at a Kings game, I'm a man of honor. I'm going to wear Kings gear. Well, Edmonton Oilers, your PR team. If you bring me to a game, I'll wear a fucking Oilers cock ring at the game.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit. I'll do anything.
Yeah, we have one actually in the office.
I have a cock ring in the office. What is that brand called?
They sent us one.
It's like Skins.
Yeah.
Skin.
No, it's not.
Mr. Skin? It's Skin with a Y, I think. I think it's literally Skin. They sent us a cock ring. It's way too big.
We can get, it's massive. Get some branding on that thing. Get some branding on that pig, then we can talk.
So, love you, Drew. Thank you. You can get an idea of where we're sitting.
Yep.
We get a DM from someone that sees where we're sitting and was like, I need help. I'm a sucker. I'm going to answer that message every time. And I'm like, what's up? And she goes, can you send me a video of the surrounding suites you're near?
And now I'm like, they're just trying to come in to see us. Cause sorry for another tangent, but a dude broke in. Well, I mean, like that made it sound violently, but like snuck into our suite at one point, who was the man and had a wicked nice Kopi jersey on.
Like this season, new.
And had one of those silver Sharpies and was like this, dude, I love you two guys. Will you guys sign my jersey? And Dan was like, are you sure? Because this jersey's sick. And he was like, couldn't be more sure. Signed it, got a pic with him. We both signed it, got a pic with him. Legendary guy.
Dude, your Siggy is way better than mine, by the way.
On the jersey? Or just mean
in general?
I actually like yours on your checks sometimes.
Well, my signature, your autograph is better than mine.
Yeah.
My signature on documents is like, it's clean.
The A is
the
nice.
A's nice.
That's like my favorite part of your signature.
Yeah. But and I didn't put that in my autograph, but like my autograph, it's fine. It looks nice, but it's not like yours is like, you've been practicing that for years, dude.
I have.
Yeah, you're a fucking loser.
Pussy bitch ass. So, dude, I thought this person was just saying, which suite are you near so I'm trying to get up in there. But that's not at all what happened.
This chick, like that first half of that message sketch.
Yeah.
But then it said, I'm trying to catch a cheater. And I was like, oh my God. And I literally replied. It was like one of those moments where my thumbs were ahead of my brain. And I just went, oh my God.
Dude, you weren't in as fast as I was.
No, dude.
Dan goes, oh my God. And I go, do it, dude. Yes, say yes, say yes.
I almost replied. I was like, listen, man, I don't want to get involved with this. And you were like, oh, dude.
Oh, dude, we're involved.
So I took a vid immediately. I was like, all right, you gave it the old thumbs up. And I was like, all right, here we go. So I walked around our suite, got up to the glass on both sides, filmed, I zoomed.
Yeah.
And Wags, I actually got into, when I was zooming, I was getting like 2-3 suites down and I started seeing couples and I was like, maybe that's them. And I was like zooming in even harder, violating privacy for sure.
Yeah.
Went to the other side, did the same thing. And I sent it about a few minutes later. The response was like, oh yeah. You are amazing. Sent a great message. It was like, I hope your pillow is forever the cool side.
She said, it was a girl, right?
Yeah.
She said, I hope you two are blessed with cool sides of your pillows for the rest of your life. And
Great
I was like,
message.
what an incredible wish. Yeah.
And I was like, did we get him? Like, has someone been caught? And she was like this, someone's been caught.
She goes, we got him.
We got him. And I was like, shut the fuck up, dude. Like, for real? Now, the catch is, there were two things for me.
Yeah.
One, I was like, did we just violate bro code?
Yeah.
But I had a couple thoughts. First thought was, we don't know if this was a guy or a gal getting caught.
True. Do we violate hoe code?
Do we?
Maybe.
Is that what they call it? I hope not. Do we violate girl code?
Yeah.
But the bigger thing for me was, I don't give a shit because Netters fans over everything, bro.
Netters fans before bros.
Yeah.
Bros before hoes, Netters fans before bros.
Because, like, you ain't, I'm not your buddy guy.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know this person. Well, maybe I do.
That's what I'm saying, dude.
But, like, I don't know. And here's the thing. Stop bringing mistresses to public events.
Specifically professional sporting events where there's an active element of, like, we might put you on TV or the Jumbotron.
What are you doing?
So dude,
Wags,
Dan,
great
question, Wags. Dan said this, and he was like, because he was like, we're backing up Netters fans, but he was like, what if that guy is a Netters fan. And then Dan said that guy should have DM'd us. Listen, to all the Netters fans out there that are bringing mistresses to hockey games, before you go, and if you think it's a game we might be at, because like you kind of have a sense of where we are, I would say, if you're a fan. So if we are in your city and you are bringing a mistress to a hockey game and you are a fan of Netters, I am requesting that you DM us.
Not requesting. I am demanding.
You DM us and go, hey, boys, on the random chance that you get another DM that says, can you film Sweets?
I'll go one further, dude.
Say no.
We just said Netters fans over everything, over bros.
Yeah.
If you are a Netters fan and you DM us and you know that we are at a game and you go, hey, boys, I'm at this game. I'm bringing the side piece. Don't post. I won't post a single thing.
Yep.
Dude. Unless it's just us. I won't post the crowd.
Yeah.
I won't post anything.
Right, because you could catch
Because you warned me, dude.
Yes.
Because Netters fans over everything.
Yep.
But unfortunately, we didn't get that message. So someone's relationship is
over.
finito.
Probably had 3 kids. And now that's done.
Hate to see it,
and
dude.
that's done.
Hate
and
to see it, but here's the thing.
They have to meet stepdad soon, dude. And that sucks.
We were an accessory to murder tonight. Someone got caught red-handed.
Dude.
Wags, I thought about it, but I that's too deep. I don't want to go that deep.
Yeah.
I don't want to know who I killed.
Now I'm part of the divorce here.
I'm working the drone.
Now
dude.
I'm going to court, Wags.
I'm working the drone. I'm just hitting the button.
Yeah.
I don't see who it is.
Good kill.
So that's it. Now on to the game.
To the game.
We're going to get into all of these games, CP. And what I want to do here, little new thing.
For hot ice.
For hot ice. We're into hot ice here. We're going to go through each series. And in each series, each of us is going to get a hot take. And then we'll get into the series. We're going to start with Kings Oilers because we just came from this game. What a fucking electric game. Loxy with us.
Yeah.
First Kings game ever.
First Kings game ever. I think first playoff hockey game ever. I think.
Yes,
but,
correct.
And first hockey game at all in like 6-7 years.
And
he's like, I hope this is a good game.
It's a fucking 6-5
it's the best
barn
playoff
burner
hockey game I've ever
bloodbath,
played.
dude. Unbelievable. We're going to start with my hot take, okay? Then we will get into the series. May I preface this by saying I had this hot take way early in the game.
Okay.
And the result of this game changes it a little bit, but it remains the same.
Yeah.
So I want you to keep in mind, I had this take when it was 4-0 Kings. Ready?
Yeah.
The Oilers don't give a flying fuck about that loss.
And you still feel that way?
Yes.
Interesting. Well, you know what, dude? I think I know where you're coming from. I said you heard me say it to a million people, many of whom Kings staff. This game felt so important if you're the Kings. Maybe I've even said this last app.
I think it was must win.
Because dude, you can't run your mouth about the home ice and be against this team and then just lose game 1 after being like, well, we've shut them out 3 times and whatever the fuck.
It was must win, dude.
Yeah.
It was must win. And then CP, they come out, they immediately get a peeper. They've been bad on the peeper all year. We're brutal last year against the Oilers.
Yeah.
Goal. Then they give up. They take a penalty, go on the PK. Not only do they kill it, they emphatically kill it. And I was like, oh my God, this game is going so perfectly.
Yep.
Late goal in the first, up 2-0. Boom, up 4-0, end of the second. And I was like, Jesus Christ, dude, this is everything that could have possibly wanted.
Yes.
But again, I'm telling you, I promise, on a mother, my mother, your mother.
Same woman.
Same woman. In that moment, I was like, the Oilers don't give a fuck about this loss. I felt that way still. And then the game obviously,
Maximus, I serve him still.
dear God, the game goes how it goes. But I think the Oilers truly don't give a fuck.
Okay, here is I think you're right. I'm glad Dewey in his post game said what he said about he's like, thank God we won.
So honest. I love him.
Yeah. Just talking about that last goal, it was 4-0, right? And then the Oilers scored with like 4 seconds left in the second. And you had even said to me, you were like, I wish they had got out of that. Or before the goal, you were like, I hope they get out of this period with the shutout.
Yeah.
And I was thinking before that too, I read the stats last ep. I don't remember them exactly, but it's like I think they shut them out twice. The Kings shut the Oilers out twice, and the one loss, they lost 1-0.
Yeah.
Like, Kemper's been awesome. And I was sitting there thinking, like, dude, the Kings are going to win this game 5-6-0. And not only do they get their win, but not only does the power play clicking and the PK clicking, but Kemper is like, I own you, dude. And all the problems we've had in net in the past are now gone. And dude, even when it was 5-3, I was already thinking that went away. Like, I was like, ugh, dude, if you're the Kings, you actually feel worse about this game now. Because you're like, here come the Oilers, and they scored on Kemper and whatever. And then it went the way it went, that I'm like, actually, dude, you might even be even more right than I thought you were. Because I was about to say, of course the Oilers don't give a fuck about that, dude. They came all the way back and lost. But now I'm like, no, dude, you're even more right, because they go, this is a joke to me.
Bro, I'm telling you.
You guys are jokes to me. This is a joke to me.
I'm telling you, man. I love that you're liking this, because, like I said, I picked the Kings to win. I still think they feel good. But again, 4-0 to 6-5. Yikes.
Dan.
And you remember what I said to you? Two things. I should probably shut my fucking mouth in that barn. It was 3-0. And I said to you and Locks, I went, man, if I'm the Kings, I really want to keep this shutout going.
Yeah, I just said that. You said that.
Yeah, sorry. I'm thinking about everything. And, they then score, and I'm like, amazing. And then, 4 seconds left. I'm like, you hate that goal, dude. And then walking around the concourse with you, a second period, shout out to all the people we saw, what up? I was like, dude, if they score first 5 minutes in this third period, this is a game. And I tweeted out, I was like, this game is not over, folks. And then, boom.
We weren't even back at our seats yet.
Edmonton scores. And I'm like, you don't like that. And then you get one back immediately, 5-2. And I'm like, okay, lock up. But then 5-3.
Let me ask you this, because I truly think right now this is one of two things has just happened. And I genuinely don't know which one happened, but definitely one of these two things just happened. If you are the Kings with this history of everything, right? Either it takes such fucking insane chaos to finally just beat that team one time that it was never going to be easy.
Yeah.
Because it's the Oilers and you're the Kings and it's been the way it's been. And you had to have that happen. And the fact that this Kings team comes out and still wins in overtime goes, see, this is why it's different this year, and now we will win this series.
Well, they won in regulation.
Oh, yes, yeah. With 40 seconds left, whatever it was. And we will now win the series, because first game was always going to be like that, because it's the Oilers. That's option one. Option two is we are dead, because I was sitting there at 4-0. I was thinking to myself, this could be Kings in 5. And now I'm like, oh, dude, the Oilers might win game 2 by 20, because they're so fuming mad. Not mad. They're just like, oh, dude, we just started too slow and whatever. And now we're off and running. You're at home ice and you guys don't scare us at all. One of those two things has just happened.
Yeah. I have a lot to say about that. And I love every question you just posed. First, I will say the reason I keep saying I felt this way at 4-0 and the same at 6-5 is it was almost a pregame mentality. Like we say, LA needed to win this game. This was must win from puck drop. I think Edmonton was going, if we lose game 1, it doesn't fucking matter. Because LA needed to win it.
Yes.
I would say that LA is going into game 2 shitting down their leg if this game was a back and forth barn burner that was oh my God, they got 2 power play goals. Edmonton went 0 for 2. They feel a little bit like, oh, we weren't on our best, and then you just barely squeaked by a win. I would say LA was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
The 2 positives I will say for LA, because this is a bad win.
Oh, yeah, dude.
This is a bad win.
Yeah.
The 2 positives I will say is they know it. The King, Drew in his post game, the boys talking to him they're like, that was ugly. They know it. They know they can be better. I chalk up so much of that to sloppiness.
Yeah.
Not bad, not like bad we're playing bad hockey. Let's go through it. I'm here to say, without the goalie pulled, if you give up a goal with less than 30 seconds in a period, you're playing sloppy hockey. And I'm talking first and second period because that implies the goalie is not pulled. There's no management.
Yep.
Letting them score with 4 seconds left, like that was, you guys just scored what felt like a back-breaking fourth goal. You're up 4-0. No one was fucking paying attention in the last minute of that second period. And they got lazy, they got sloppy, boom, Edmonton gets a goal. Then I think even start of the third, you're up 4-1, you're like, whatever. Oh, shit, you get scored on. You wake up a little bit. You score a fifth. You're up 5-2.
Yeah.
You get scored on again. Then, dude, not sewering our boy here, but like that Kevin Fiala empty net miss was fucking insane.
Dude,
Like, unbelievable play by Kopi on the boards, chips it to Kempe, and then an unbelievable mental awareness to just push it to Kev. Because lefty shot, defenseman's right in front of Juice, Kev's got the better angle. He's inside the red line, and he just rips it over the net. Like, it was just, you put a little too much mustard on it. But that was bad. That is a 6-3 win, goes to a 6-5 by the skin of your teeth win. That is sloppy. So I think any fear that could have been in the Kings, I actually don't think it's there that much, because I think they are chalking up so much of that to, Jesus Christ, that got sloppy and ugly. Now, the confidence you would have had in a 5-1, 4-1 win is also gone.
Yep.
So you're going into game 2. It's definitely not as must-win as game 1, but game 2 is now way more important as far as the way you go. And I think, and I'll toss it back to you, I think the big one here, similar to Jets got a win in game 1, but what is the big question? Ooh, Hellebuck didn't look very good.
Yep.
Stuart Skinner did not look great in that game. You banked on that as the Kings.
Yeah.
Darcy Kemper did not look good in that game. You did not count on that.
Okay, completely agree. That's where I was headed next. Another positive for the Kings is what you just said. I think you're like, Skinner, I mean, that crowd, dude, chanting his name. Like, obviously he's going to hear that ringing in his head all night tonight. You can get goals in this series. The negative for the Kings is the Oilers now feel, after getting shut out twice, I hope I got that stat right, shut out twice and their one goal once in their win, now feel like they can get goals on Kemper, and that is not ideal. Dude, McDavid, I just want to touch on this before we get off this series, or this game, I should say. McDavid, I actually made a note in my phone to bring this up to you on the pod, it's always been the McDavid and Draisaitl show there, but it feels, for whatever reason, even more so this year. Like, watching that team, I'm kind of like, these two guys do everything.
Yeah.
And McDavid, to me, tonight, was almost being too cute. Like, there were times where he made like crazy sick power play entries and would do like a nuts pass, and so did Draisaitl. But a couple times he kept like knifing through guy, and then he'd like try to like backhand sauce one like 2 feet, and it would just like hit a skate and bounce out. And I was like, what are you doing, dude? Like, just get it in the zone. So there was a few with 59 minutes gone. I was like, I can't wait to bring up to Dan that McDavid was a little too cute tonight.
Yeah.
And then he was like, chip by, skate by half the team, bang, goal, fist pump up the glass right in front of the Kings bench. I'm your boogeyman. And I was like,
Christ.
Fuck, dude. He is so good. Dude, he's so shifty. Like, he literally goes like, and then just like 5 people jump out of his way. And I'm like, how are you doing that on skates, dude? It's fucked, man.
It's so crazy that it felt like through 2 periods, I was like, what an incredible job you guys have done of neutralizing these two. And then just end of the game, you're like, oh, they weren't neutralized.
And like, Connor, what do you have? Like 3 assists that like it felt, I don't even remember them, but it's like,
it's insane.
4 point
But
night,
again,
dude.
sloppy. But dude, watching him play, I would, honest to God, it's the neutral zone momentum.
Yeah.
When he gets a few steps, you're like, Jesus Christ. On that tying goal, you heard me. I was going, oh no. He just like walked past Kopi, and I was like, oh God. Genuinely, if I were a defender in the neutral zone and he had a couple of those steps, I would rather guess and just step in with all my might with a shoulder, one side or the other, and go 50-50.
Yep.
And if he blows by me and everyone's like, oh, what a whiff, I'd be like, I'd rather that than this like lazy, like, oh, I tried to get you. Because it feels like he's getting past you no matter what. Take the chance of being like, hopefully I blow him the fuck up in open ice or look like an asshole. And I'm like, I'll take that chance,
dude. It's almost like beer league where you just back into your goalie. I'm going to keep backing up, dude. Like, if you want to shoot it,
crazy,
shoot it.
dude.
But like, I'm not, don't step ever,
He's
dude.
fucking insane. So yeah, my take on this is absolutely huge, must win for the Kings. And credit to him for winning that in regulation. Like, don't even give them the chance of OT. Obviously, they didn't plan on that. But Huge to get that win. Maintain. Edmonton doesn't give a flying fuck about that loss, and it is so big that both Leon and Connor are gone.
Good take. Next series we're going to get into is Leafs versus the Senators, and my hot take for this series is the Leafs are going to the Cup.
Whoa.
And I didn't pick them. I don't even think we posted our brackets yet, but I didn't pick them to go to the Cup in my bracket, and I haven't even seen Tampa and Florida play yet because they haven't played yet. But it's a hot take for a reason. But I will tell you, the way you just talked about the Kings, how the game was going, right? Like you were like, the Kings at 4-0, you were getting this version of this game one if you're the Kings. That's exactly what the Leafs got in their game one.
Yep. There was one thing, Chris, I love this take by you. There was one thing that kept that game from being a perfect game one for the Leafs. And it was an Austin Matthews goal.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, like literally, if he's.
I'm not kidding.
I agree. I agree completely.
Don't need a shutout. Don't need literally the one thing from keeping me from saying that was a perfect game one was an Austin Matthews goal, and it goes from a 100 on the test score to a 98. Like it is a current 90. Like Dude, that was everything they wanted.
I think I knew this, but I heard Bucci say during the broadcast it must have been Tavares and Marner. But it was at one point they were up pretty earlier. It was like 2 or 3-ish nothing, or 3-ish 1. And Bucci goes, 7 games of round 1 against Boston last year. Mitch Marner, 1 goal. Tavares, 1 goal. They each have 1 tonight. Like, and that was the point of his stat. But I was like, that is a thing, dude. Like,
totally.
And obviously they can go quiet after this, but getting a Nylander, Marner, Tavares, like sick goals too, like great plays by everybody.
Jesus Christ,
sick pass by
Marner
Matthews on the Marner breakaway.
And
because he gloved that down. We were actually beaking. I forget what D-man shot that in, and we were beaking him. But on the replay, he kind of like Matthews pulls that off the glass, puts it down, and has sauce on Marner's tape.
Was that
in like 2 seconds? You know, so it wasn't that bad of an entry. It was just a good, really fucking good play by Austin Matthews, who we have said isn't an assist guy.
Yep.
You know, so. Man, that and the Olmark thing, which we talked about a million times. Bucci gave another stat. I couldn't remember which one he said, so I wrote both down. Olmark has played 11 playoff games in his career. He's given up more than 4 goals in 5 of them, more than 5 goals in 3 of them. Give up 6 goals against.
It's so bad.
Dude, I love Linus Olmark, and I think he's an incredible regular season goalie, and he had a really hot stretch in Ottawa this year, and part of the reason they made playoffs is because of that acquisition.
Yep.
But, dude, if you get fucking smoked by this Leafs team, which I think, I said it to you, he shut them out once and gave up 1 goal once. He had like a 9.60 save percentage across 2 games coming in.
Yeah. Fucking
peppered. Dude.
No, it's so bad. I hate to say this because I think you're fucking dialed, by the way. Oh, that's so dialed. I hate to say it because I've loved this Ottawa team. I'm so excited for them. I picked the upset. Yep. I think I said in our preview they're playing with house money. They've got nothing to lose, and I really think that game sucked for them. Like if I'm an Ottawa fan, I always hate saying if I'm on that Ottawa team because these guys are pros. They a lot of them don't get fazed by stuff, but. If I'm an Ottawa fan, I'm feeling pretty shitty heading into game 2. And, everything could flip. Olmark could play amazing.
Absolutely.
You could get a win. But that game, you got whacked, man. You got absolutely backhanded across the fucking mouth by your mother sitting at the dinner table talking when you're supposed to be having a good conversation, telling her what you did in school that day. You're talking about cartoons, and you got a fucking backhand up across the mouth and nose. You got embarrassed. Mm-hmm. And they looked bad. They looked undisciplined. They were taking shit penalties. They were skating around like an incredibly inexperienced hockey team. They looked like a team who has never been in the playoffs. And there were simple things, not like you have to score every time, but Brady gets that breakaway in the first period.
Yeah.
Stoned. I'm not saying he has to score, like I just said, but it's like Mitchie gets that breakaway, scores. Brady's your guy, the boogeyman that we thought he was going to be playing this team. It's like you kind of need him to score there. I didn't think he had that great of a game. So while everything went well for Toronto, I thought pretty much everything went poorly for Ottawa. And yeah, I think game 2 is certainly not a must win, but it is if you want Toronto to feel even the slightest bit of fear going into Ottawa and playing you, you've got to do much, much better than that. It wasn't just
Even if it's a closer loss.
Yeah, it wasn't. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It wasn't just the scoreline. It wasn't like, I'm sure there are Ottawa fans listening to this going, we got beat 6-2, no shit. But I'm like, that's not what I'm talking about, dude. Like, you got the fucking wheels beaten off of you in every facet of that game. And I know there are a lot of people who will complain about calls. I think that's bullshit.
Yeah. Dude, one thing I love that you said on that topic is this. We said this is a bad matchup for the Leafs because they'd rather play like a high-flying Habs team than a battering ram Ottawa team. And I think Ottawa knows that too and got that in their heads. And they were like, we need to beat this Leafs team to a pulp, which they do. But there is a fine line of doing that legally and illegally. And I'm not saying they're like cheating. I'm saying like don't take penalties.
Yep.
You need to forecheck hard, take the body when you can, finish every check, but stay out of the box.
And don't let getting beat on the score sheet turn you into goons. Because
Now-
that, in my opinion, if I'm back in the day when I was playing, that was the best feeling in the world. When you were beating a team and they start fucking cheap shotting, I think it makes them look like the biggest losers in the world. And I think that's a universal hockey feeling. You're like, keep fucking cross-checking me in mouth after the whistle. It's all you can do.
Dude, like
bitch.
Matty Nye's getting that power play goal at the end after like the fucking ridiculous scrum, and he was like, whatever, dude, we're fucking nasty. To talk out of the other side of my mouth, I will say for half of that game, before it kind of got out of hand, I actually thought Ottawa was really hard done by with the score. I thought they controlled stretches.
Oh my gosh,
I
agree.
thought
First
the
period,
two first
especially.
goals Allmark gave up were Ekman Larsson walking down the slot alone. Like, it wasn't the best shot I've ever seen, but that's a tough one. I'm not really asking my goalie to get that. And then a Mitch Marner breakaway where he went fucking top bunk. So Ottawa was like, and Stolarz was leaving a ton of rebounds that Ottawa just hadn't capitalized. Point being, if I'm Ottawa, I'm actually pretty okay going. There was large stretches of the first and into the second where I actually thought we were outplaying Toronto. And the scoreline was just going the other way because of some bad breaks here or there. Brady doesn't score, Mitch does. You know how it goes.
Yeah.
So they didn't get steamrolled as badly as it looks even. But just goddamn it, dude, from a mental level, that isn't what you wanted. If you're the Sens playing a nervous, well, apparently not nervous, but like a vulnerable mentally Leafs team where you go, I can't afford a game where we actually played pretty good, but all the Leafs' best players scored and they pumped us.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, dude, this wasn't even your fault, but now the Leafs are like, we are fucking dope. And I'm like, dude, they didn't need that. Or if you're anyone playing the Leafs, you don't want them to feel that way.
So final thoughts after game one.
Final thoughts, man. I think you're right. Actually, you said it's not must-win game 2. I think maybe it is because it's a lot to win 4 out of the next 5, basically. So fine. Actually, fine. I'll call it must-win for Ottawa because I'm like, if the Leafs roll again, I'm like, they're going to be so hard to slow down, and the Ottawa crowd will be awesome. But holy fuck, that Toronto atmosphere is so sick. And Stolarz, as much as I was kind of beaking him, I was like, well, he made fucking 31 saves, and there were a lot of rebounds, but he stopped those too. So I don't know what to tell you. The Leafs, that was because bro, can you even fucking imagine if the Leafs lost this game? What
the narrative would be
like
insane.
what we're saying, and like the Leafs lost game 1 to the Senators. We all knew it. Blah, blah, blah. But instead, they're like, we beat the shit out of them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, good job.
Yeah.
It's playoff hockey time, babes, and you know that we are getting dialed with BetMGM. You've seen us doing the empty net bets, and what a ride it has been so far. So I hope you're tailing that with us. But BetMGM has so much more epic stuff to offer, and I want you to be a part of it. Talking about the hat trick jackpot promotion. What you do is you bet on someone to be an anytime goal scorer. And if they score, you win the bet. Simple as that. If they score 3 or more, 3 to infinity and beyond, you and anyone else that picked them get entered to win your share of 10 G's in bonus bets just for picking them to be an anytime goal scorer. And if you download the BetMGM app and you use promo code NETTERS, that's NETTERS, you can get up to $1,500 in bonus bets if your first bet loses. So follow that logic with me. Download the BetMGM app, use promo code NETTERS, bet on an anytime goal scorer. If they don't score, you can win $1,500 in bonus bets because your first bet lost. If they do score, you're smart and you win. And if they score 3 or more, you get your share of 10 Gs. Whew! That's amazing. So get in on this action. Follow us on the Empty Net Bets. Download that BetMGM app, use our promo code, and have a blast. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY for New York. Call 1-800-327-5050 for Massachusetts. 21 plus only. Please gamble responsibly. Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP for Arizona. 1-800-BETS-OFF for Iowa. 1-800-981-0023 for Puerto Rico. First bet offer for new customers only, subject to eligibility requirements. Bonus bets are non-withdrawable. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel. See BetMGM.com for terms. U.S. promotional offers not available in New York, Nevada, Ontario, or Puerto Rico.
Going to the next series, Avs, Stars. I've got a hot take.
Hit me.
Here we go. All the pressure in this series is now on Colorado.
Go on.
The way I look at it, we talked about this series in our preview as this was the big one, dude. This was the Western Conference final, essentially, for us. These two teams, we both think that they have a great shot at getting to the Cup. And I was like, I think these are my two horses. These are the two best teams. Whoever's coming out of this is going to the Cup. Brutal that they're playing round 1, but here we go. Now, after the beatdown of game 1, 5-1.
Yeah, I think so.
Then Colorado in this game. Again, I get it's at in Dallas, but you're up multiple times in the game. You let Dallas crawl back. You let them get an OT winner. They don't have Robo. They don't have Heiskanen. I think all the pressure's on Colorado now.
Dude,
you're going home now to ball. I think, God forbid, you lose game 3, you're starting to sweat. Like, those two injuries for me and the way these first 2 games have gone, I think Colorado has all the pressure on them now.
It's there's logic in your take, but I would say just about everybody picked this to go long. I think you had Avs 6, but I had Avs 7. They did before Robo. I know it's just one player. I know.
But it's just like the Devil series. It's just one player, right?
When did Robo get hurt?
Game 82.
Right, but I think most people picked a long series even with that news.
I mean, we did our preview before the pointless last day of the season.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people made those picks. Like, if we had recorded our episode before that, we would have had a much different analysis.
And dude, 100%, you're right about if we had redone our picks after game 1.
That's what I'm saying.
I would have been like Avs in fucking 4.
That's what I'm screaming.
Dude. Like, this is a fucking blood. And dude, especially, I think it was Harley.
A waxing in Dallas, game 1, 5-1.
Someone, I think Harley, said in the post game, 5-1 lost Colorado, and he goes, that's actually the best game we've played in 2 months. And I was like, dude,
I love Harley.
I can't tell if you are just trying to keep the boys positive or if you're like, that's how good Colorado is. Because we actually just played great. And
Mind games. They had Miro practicing and more.
Fucking wheels off us. So I was like, dude, the Avs are going to dominate. Here's, like, you're right. With the guys out, I hear you. Where you're like, fuck. But I just think if you're Colorado, you go, yeah, I mean, obviously it would have been awesome to win too, but we split one in Dallas, and we're going to go home and pump them where we beat them. Like, we lost in Dallas in the regular season this year, beat them twice in Colorado. So it's like, we're going to just go home and win twice, and we're fucking fine.
Dude, it's called a hot take for a reason. I'm not saying anyone's freaking out.
Yeah.
But I am just saying, it. If they lose this series, people are going to go, dude, they lost, and Dallas didn't have Robo or Miro, and they lost game 1 5-1 at home, and then we're down twice in game 2.
Yeah, no, your take is actually correct. Like, the pressure's
on Colorado.
The pressure's on them. And Dallas, I was ready to even say this if they had lost tonight.
Yeah.
Dallas lost 2 at home to Vegas to start the playoffs last year when they got another shit. They also had the shit first round matchup last year. And then did they win 4 straight? I think they maybe won in 6.
Yeah, I think they won in 6.
So it's like, not that you want to make a habit of that, but if any team's equipped to do it, it was them, the mental fortitude. And then you see it, because I think we're in agreement that Dallas is worse than Colorado right now. They're the worst team with the team they're putting on the ice. So to come back twice when you go, dude, we cannot fucking do this again. We can't lose both these games at home again. And there were some good goals, dude. Like, and I mean that in not good highlight McDavid goals. I mean, like, playoff fucking goals where you're like, get pucks to the net, make a right pass, get pucks to the net, jam hard, finish the fucking play. Mm-hmm. That is actually really encouraging to me because Colorado is too good top to bottom to just think you're going to carve them up. And Dallas is like, well, dude, we will not go quietly into that good night.
Yeah, no doubt. I hate to do this, but I mean, in that game, you get a goal from Sagan. That's huge. I'm singling Sagan out because guy who comes back from injury who had been so good.
Yep.
At it in his quote unquote older age. You love to see that if you're Dallas. Harley has been playing amazing. Dallas just coming off a win, so I don't mean to speak negatively, but I don't like doing this. I don't like calling up players ever because we are Players Podcast. This is a motivation call out, not a shit talk call out.
Yep.
Mikko Rantanen has to wake up.
Dude, so
truly, dude, has to wake up. I mean, I have been defending this guy from the jump. When he got traded, had a couple of bad weeks in Carolina. There were Carolina fans being like, this guy fucking sucks, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, are you insane? He's one of the best players in the world. He's in a bad situation. But now he gets moved. He had a good first game with Dallas, got a little quiet for a stretch here. And now, game one, obviously no one on Dallas played that well, despite Harley's comments.
Yeah.
But he's got 0 goals, 0 assists. Even in this win, he's not doing anything.
I'm looking. 3 shots, -1. 3 shots, -1, 2 PIMs today.
And I'm like, dude, you're a game breaker. You're supposed to be a game breaker. You just signed this massive deal with this team. Like, you are one of the best players in the world. That's what everyone knows you to be. If they want to win, and I know that they just won, but if they want to win this series, they want to go on a deep run. Like, he has to get going.
Dan, you're 100%
so
right.
I'm shocked that they were able to win this game with him doing nothing.
3 shots, -2, game 1. You're 100% right. And for Stars, and especially Stars, but Stars and Avs fans, we were at the Kings game, so it was hard to watch. That's why I'm like, I didn't see the second goal, where we had it on the phone in the box. It was a lot going on. You are 100% right. And one thing I find, and I'm sure he is doing this to a degree, but it's always an interesting thing where the guys, you play a team you were just on and had been on for a long time in the playoffs. We're talking about it with Fogues in the Kings thing.
Yeah.
Where it's like, I'm sure, and I'm not quoting anybody, but I'm sure Warren Vogel is like, hey boys, last year in the locker room, we were saying that you guys were clowns and we were going to like how easy it was going to be to beat you.
Yeah.
Because he's using that as motivation for like, boys, 100%, I will tell you what we were saying about you guys last year. So it's kind of like Colorado played this Dallas team last year, and I'm like, dude, Rantanen, even if he's not producing, you'd think can come over and be like, here's the system. Here's how they play. Here's everyone on the top line's tendencies. Here's what we think about you guys, And again, I'm sure he is doing some of that, but it's like that has to start translating a bit because he signed a long contract. He can have so much success, but this will look like a bust if all of that fuckery happened, Dan.
And you just want to avoid the fuckery, right? Like, even if they win the cup, let's say they win the cup, but Rantanen doesn't do shit.
Yeah.
You go into next season and people are being like, this fucking asshole better produce. Even after you win the cup, holding the cup, people are still going to be saying that. You want to avoid that.
Yeah.
So whatever it is, like he's got to get going here. So that's something to keep an eye on.
But I'm thrilled with the series, and I hope it goes 7. Like I picked Colorado, but I'm this one for me was I was very happy to see Dallas. I think I said to you, I don't even know who I want. Whoever comes out of this, I'll start rooting for. But I was like, I don't know yet.
Yeah.
And I was really happy to see Dallas fight back in this one.
Agree.
I want the fight.
I would have been sad as a hockey fan if Colorado won both on the road. So
let's just touch on Landy.
Came out for warm-ups, came out for warmies. He was initially out there. Miles Wood was scratched, but then they flip-flopped it. Now,
does that mean anything to you? Or
maybe. I think, truly, dude, the way I looked at it was
I have 2 theories.
Everyone's playing mind games here.
Yeah.
Like, Haskinen's practicing, and people are like, oh, shit. The reading into it, it freaks me out a little bit if, like, maybe he went out for warmies and was like, yo, I don't feel good.
Yeah.
That terrifies me, but I don't think that's the case because he's been practicing. He's played, with the Eagles. I think the plan was always ball.
Yeah, okay.
Make your debut at home.
That was my theory. One was when he came up for warmies, I was like, oh, they're not playing him game 1 to see if they can get their split.
Yeah.
Minimum, we've won 1 in Dallas. So they're like, play him in game 2. We've already won here. So
Yeah.
who gives a fuck if we lose this game? And he'll get his feet wet, and it's like a less pressure game.
Yeah.
Because if they lose game 1, I don't put him in game 2.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, they're going to do that. And then when they sat him again, I was like, actually, I think they're just being like, we got our split. Why don't you debut at home?
Yeah.
And that would be sick. Not that you're trying to win the fucking series, not make Landy's debut cool, but that's my theory too. I'm with you on that one.
Yeah.
Next series we're getting into is the Caps HABS series, which we have seen 1 game, and I am going to start this one with a hot take.
Hit me.
Alexander Ovechkin will win the Rocket Richard of playoffs. Dan, do you know when somebody, I swear it's baseball is the only thing I've seen like this.
Cool.
Baseball sometimes, like one of your best, well, this is a bad version, but it goes both ways, but sometimes it's like one of your best players all of April and May is like hitting 250 and you're like, hey, oh, he's Mookie Betts, he'll snap out of it. But then like once it's June and they're hitting 250, I'm like this, you are going to hit 250 all year because you're just having a bad year and I don't know why. And the reverse can happen. Guys can be like hitting 320 and you're like, dude, he's just hot start. And he's like, no, I'm just locked in this year.
Yeah.
Ovi, obviously he's been a prolific scorer his whole life, but this year was like, I am a goal scoring machine because I will break the record this year.
Yeah, he's seeing numbers.
Even if I break my leg, dude, he sees the goal is the matrix.
He's seeing numbers.
Yeah. And even though it's playoffs now and everything's different, he just can't turn that off for the rest of this season whenever they get knocked out. And I know to actually be the leading scorer of playoffs, they'd probably have to make it very far. And I actually haven't picked them to make it that far. But God forbid they do make it that far, dude. He might score 20 fucking goals in the playoffs alone, dude. It feels like he's got it's just going in. It's just fucking going in.
Yeah. I love that call. And yeah, I think they're going to make a good run here. I don't know if they're going to win the cup. I don't know if they're going to go to the cup, but I think they're going to make a good run. And I feel you. I tweeted out, I was like, dude, this guy's opening up the scoring in this series. Actually, I got chirped on Twitter, by the way. I said, Ovi opening the scoring is so nails. And some guy goes, you're almost 40. Stop talking like a skater, bro. I don't think Nails is a skater, bro.
Dude, Nails is a very... Well, I'm about to get lit up for this too. I hear it in the hockey community all the time, especially Canadian hockey people.
I was like, I think I replied, I was like, have you ever talked to a skater, bro?
Dude, there is, not to get off track here, but there is an insane run of comments in the Sorokin video of when I was like, Ovi's never scored on Sorokin. And you go, that's Nails.
Yeah.
And comment section is like, Nails? Like, people are like, I turned this off when I heard Nails.
Really?
Oh my God, dude, go look at it. It's crazy.
Why do people hate Nails so
dude,
much?
I've never seen a more...
Are you being dramatic?
No,
like,
Dan.
Are there
no,
two
dude.
comments?
No, dude. I want you to go
I'm
look
do
at
this while you're talking.
Dude, go find that video and then, the reaction. Usually I can kind of tell when a comment section is gonna turn dark. That was an absolute shocker to me. So I'm not surprised you got that reaction on Twitter, but I'll pick it up there. Dude.
I'm so confused why
Same.
people have a problem with
it's actually
the term
pretty sick
Nails.
Words. Him opening the scoring and getting his first career OT playoff goal is just another cherry on such a dream season for this guy. Like, genuinely, things could not be going. Do you find it?
That is so Nails, made me stop listening instantly. 293 likes.
Bro,
why do people have a problem with Nails?
They hate the word. They hate it. Someone was like, dude, so I stopped listening. And he's like, good thing you stopped because he said it again. Like, it was a war zone in there. I was going through trying to respond to people because I like engaging with the community. And then sometimes the community fights back, dude. And it's, I don't like it.
This is so funny.
Dude, it's crazy.
Oh, God, I love fucking people on the internet. It's so hilarious. Just incredible.
Yeah, I've never seen anyone, or I've never seen people more mad for something I was not expecting.
I didn't get it. I didn't realize this was such a trigger word for people.
Yeah, you be careful.
Wow. Incredible.
But anyway, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, just awesome stuff from Ovi. Literally a point on all 3 goals. near like superhuman status for him for the rest of this playoff run. Power play, weapon, everything. For the Habs, Dan, it was, I'm trying to figure out how much time. 10 minutes left in the third, and they're down 2-0. And we were saying, because I think we were in the car maybe on the way to the game, we were saying like, okay, the Caps are kind of going to get their win, and I forget what you picked series-wise, but I had picked them in like 5 or something, and I was like, Caps are going to roll. They're just that much better. And not that this was a high-score blow, but it certainly felt that way when it was 2-0. And then just like that, bang, bang, Habs.
Cole and Suzuki, too.
Yep. They put up a crazy stat that was like Cole, Suzuki, and Slav, 2 goals, 15 shots. Rest of team, 0 goals, 17 shots. And I was like, Jesus, dude. Like, they are literally like, we are the boys.
I suppose 15 shots for 3 players is very good, but like I bet that's not that crazy.
Yeah,
like your 3 best goal scorers have your most shots.
Yep.
Like I don't think that's that.
Yeah,
insane.
fair. I just want the other guys to shoot more, probably. Yeah. But anyway, what did that do for you from a Habs POV, the comeback?
Well, I picked these. You just asked. I picked Caps in 6 because I think they're too drunk on the season, the Ovi record. I think that the Habs are also just buzzing to such an extent they're going to steal a couple. So especially game 1, I'm not surprised that the young, scrappy Habs got to them a little bit. But to your point, I do think it happened in a bad way. Like if I'm the Caps, I'm like, guys, can't let that happen. Can't be up 2-0. And just, let this go to OT. But again, taking care of business is taking care of business. They took care of business and they got the win. And I'm always like, that's huge. I think it hasn't really changed my take on where the series is going to go. But I do think it's opened some people's eyes into how good the Habs are.
Yeah. Dude, I'm kind of like, I might be so wrong on this take, but I kind of skew to what you said at the beginning of that thought, which is like, I'm like, yeah, the Caps are still going to win in 5. And like the Habs are going to be pretty close in every game because they're pesky.
Yeah, I don't hate that take at all. Like I think that there's a world where every game is very close and the Caps just win.
Like I got so many texts like, Habs, dude, look at this. Yeah. Like they're about to win this game, and they almost did.
Yeah.
And I would like that too as a hockey fan. Like I hope that is a really fun series because I fucking love the Bell Center and Montreal and those fans. But I kind of watched that game being like, yeah. Caps kind of like fell asleep for a second, and they're just gonna win still. And
yeah,
no one cares.
this could so easily be one of those series where you're playing driveway basketball against your little brother, and you're not really trying. And I'm not, I'm not saying the Caps, but you're just like, oh yeah, we're gonna win this, and then like all of a sudden it's a new summer. Your little brother's a little bigger and a little stronger and has gotten a bit better, and you're like, oh, what the fuck? Like you're not bad anymore. And there's a couple plays here and there where it almost looks like you're about to lose, and then you turn it on, you're like, okay, fucking shut up, dude.
Yeah.
So like, there's a world where that happens, where the Caps win, but they're like, that was closer than every game was a little closer than we thought it was going to be. So yeah, I think that was a good statement from the Habs that has made the Caps be a little bit like, oh,
a little punch.
All right, like we got to finish these games. So yeah, it hasn't changed my take on the series at all, but it has, I think, opened people's eyes to like the Habs will not go quietly into that good night.
I will say that if you're the Caps, that is playing with fire in the Bell Center. Like what you just did is you're playing against another entity.
Yeah.
You can't really get away with some of that shit, which they know. They know that. They're going to clean it up, or they hope to clean it up, but I'm just saying, don't play with your food up north. They don't fuck with that.
Yeah. I will say, too, sure, they got a couple of goals. Really nice to see LT as a fucking beast.
Yeah. Yep.
Like 9.43 save percentage, 1.94 goals against. Like he's, I don't really get how that works. Like it was 2. But that's big for the Caps. Next series, we got Jets against the Blues. My hot take. This series is going perfectly for the Jets.
Yeah. Yep. 2-0. So obviously, but elaborate.
My elaboration is going to be, both, they're one goal. They won 2-1 today. On Saturday, they won 5-3, obviously with an empty netter. Yep. And we talked about playoff Helly. He's not playing that well. I think this is going perfectly for them for a couple reasons. You're at home playing against the pesky Blues. In game 1, you get 4 goals on Binner, who was going to be that game changer, right? Mm-hmm. Like, oh shit. In game 2, you only score 2, but regular season Hellebuck is back and only gives up 1. You also have your big guys scoring. Kyle Connor is scoring. Mark Scheifele is scoring. You are up 2-0 after so many people said, are the Jets frauds? You're playing the second hottest to the hottest team in the league since Four Nations break. Everything is built up for things are going to get scary at home. Now you're going into game 3 up 2-0. I just think they are happy as a fucking clam.
Dude,
and again, it's not just because they're up 2-0. It's because you've got a huge Binner performance and your big boys are scoring.
And you won tight games.
Huge Helly performance.
Yeah, sorry.
Big boys are scoring.
You won tight games where you were down going into the third, I think, in game 1. Like, I'm pretty sure they were down 3-2. Someone can check me on that.
I don't think... Was that going into the third?
I think so, dude. And then in this game, in game 2...
Yeah, that's right.
In this game, it's 1-1 going into the third. You know, like you are in tight games in front of a fan base that you haven't served in the playoffs lately. Remember, they lost to Vegas, gentlemen swept, and I said I wish they had won 1 at home.
Yeah,
I can't even remember which game they won against Colorado, but like they also got gentlemen swept out of that series, and it's like, god damn, dude, like we just cannot do something for the Great White Wall up there. So getting that crowd, the belief in this team that you obviously have in your own locker room, by literally just grinding out 2 tight games against it's 2019 again Blues. Everybody talking about that. Bang, win, bang, win. That is massive, dude. Like, truly, I know it's obvious. Like, oh, yeah, we won the first 2 games. But just, like, it's not even like they were pummeling the Blues and just, like, see, the Blues are frauds. Now that it's playoffs, they're not going to stay hot anymore. No, the Blues are punching hard and playing you super tight. And in the first game, the 2 hottest goalies in the league weren't really on their game, but your guy just barely outplayed him. In game 2, the 2 hottest goalies in the league actually both played pretty good. Only 22 shots each side, but both played pretty good.
Yeah.
And your guy just barely outplayed him. Those little things make the difference in a 7-game series. And I picked the Jets to win this comfortably. I still think they will. But if the Blues come back and take 2 in St. Louis, and then it's a best of 3, you're like, thank God we snuck out those 2. Thank God we didn't puke up one of these.
Yeah.
Because now you're fucked. You know, so you've earned this 2-game cushion and you built this 2-game cushion. And I'm with you, dude. I don't think the Blues were ever going to roll over. I just don't think the Jets were going to blow them out. I guess I kind of just said this about the Caps. I think they're all going to be close. I just think the Jets are going to win every time.
I think I agree. It's fuck, man. It's tough. We both picked the Jets to win. I think this Blues team is super exciting. I think Jimmy Snugs has the fucking sickest shot in the world.
Dope.
This Jets team is just good, man. And I think a big thing of when I was saying that this has gone perfectly for them is it feels like the last couple of years, right, where the Jets have fallen short. Games like this, being down going into the third in game 1, that's a game that you lose because you're like, oh, fuck, what's happening? They just feel very calm. I said that to you today.
Yeah. I like that take.
1-1 game at home, you're like, don't let this slip. They just look so calm out there on the ice.
Yeah. Like Jets going to 2018, lost conference finals in 2018.
Yep.
Lost first round, lost second round, missed, lost first round here. You know, you've kind of had this roadblock too that we've been making fun of the Wild for and the Leafs obviously for.
Yeah, Kings.
Yeah, Kings for sure. So it's this series, I think, in a way, will be getting through this series, even with what they have on their horizon. Dallas, a Colorado, a Vegas, maybe, a Kings, maybe, is a massive sigh of relief, I think, if I'm Winnipeg.
Yeah.
And you're not out of it yet, by any means. But I just think this series is important to them, is really important to them to be like, dude, we are the fucking President's Trophy team, and there's a bullshit curse and all that stuff, but like we haven't been good in this round.
Agree. And yeah, this was a test. The Blues were a test.
Yep.
For winning the President's Trophy. think about how different the Rangers were last year.
Yeah.
Rangers get the Caps that we were all like, that
Sweep,
Caps team last year.
auto
We're like, what the
sweep.
fuck are
Yeah.
you doing in the playoffs? They had no juice, no mojo. Boom, sweep.
Yep.
This is a test.
This is a bad luck, dude. You're
yeah.
like the fucking
You're like,
Blues.
good God, the Blues.
I'm sure they would have rathered the Wild. No offense to Minnesota, especially a healthy Minnesota. But I'm sure just with the heat check, the heat factor, I'm sure the fucking Jets would have been like, I'd rather play Minnesota, dude.
Yeah. So I just think they're loving what they've got going on right now. Like I said, their most important players have good performances. That feels fucking awesome.
Yeah.
That feels awesome going up 2-0 into game 3 with gritty wins.
Yep.
Gritty wins against a scrappy team. You'll love that.
Yep. And dude, Wag sent how about that hit on Kyrou? That was a fucking
Jesus Christ.
steamroll. But it's playoff hockey, dude. Playoff hockey. I think the Blues have deserved a game here, and they're gonna get one at home. Next series, Vegas versus the Minnesota Wild. My hot take after watching one game of that series, and I kind of have I had a few impressions coming out of that game, but for the purposes of a hot take, someone important from Vegas isn't leaving this series healthy. That's how I feel.
Damn.
And I don't want that at all.
I was going to say,
clear.
I hate this hot take. You're an asshole.
But it's just they have a very unhealthy team historically who are the healthiest I've ever seen them, I think, literally. And holy shit, was that game physical.
Could not believe the Wild, dude.
They were nuts.
They were absolutely banging bodies. I've said this to you before, dude. I talked about him and my little underrated players heading into the season series this summer. Joel Eriksson is such a good two-way center. He fucking
dude proved it at
bangs,
Four Nations.
Dude.
Yeah.
He bangs bodies. My God. And we're seeing it from young guys, too. I thought Boyum had a great showing.
Dude, he's out on the ice with no fucking goalie. Like, literally the biggest moment of the game.
Faber, who's a skill guy, he was throwing the weight around. Middleton's obviously throwing weight around. But fuck me. They were super physical. They were flying around.
Dude, when I think of Vegas, part of the reason I picked them to go so far is I'm like, Vegas is such a fucking heavy team.
Oh,
dude. Like, they just pound you into submission. And
truly, dude, like you got Hager, you got Kolasar, you've got Howden's a big fucking
dude, he's
boy,
huge.
2 goals.
Yeah.
He is a big fucking boy. Even Ike's way bigger than people think. Like you get up next to Ike's and you're like, Christ, dude, you're a fucking truck. Stoner's thick as shit. Seeing the Wild bang those
dude, they're
boys
ready
around,
for it. Did I say 4? I think I was like literally Vegas going to sweep them.
I think you did.
That's not happening. I can tell you that much. Yeah. I'll say some positives for each. Hurdle, the man. Disgusting opening goal, like puck-sized hole over Gus's shoulder, and he makes no mistake about it. Has been awesome this year for them, kind of like what they were hoping to get, I think. And if Vegas has always been dangerous with the secondary scoring, right? Like I'll save that one because that's another point. But the secondary scoring of Vegas, amazing. I thought Kaprizov looked dope.
Man, he's so good. How frustrating is it that he got hurt this year? Because I was like, he's gonna win MVP, and
bro. They put up a stat because I forgot. We were saying we were like, he's MVP
he's
for sure.
Fucking nasty,
dude. I'm pretty sure the stat said he had 20 tucks in, I think, like 23 games when he got hurt. Like, he was literally like, I score every game, and then got hurt, played like 5 more games, scored 3 more times, and finished the year with like 23 goals. But I was like, he had like 20 and 20.
Dude, insane.
And that pass on the Boldy first goal was filthy.
Yeah.
Dude, like,
sees the ice
I couldn't
so
even
well.
believe he made the pass, and then he hit it so hard that I was like, what are you doing? And then Boldy just like catch, bang. And I was like, holy shit, that was sick. So he looks great. I thought Gus actually looked really good. I thought Gus was really seeing the puck.
I agree. I agree.
Know, obviously Vegas got a few by him, but just like he looked like the guy that they need him to be.
Yeah.
And then the Vegas positive to even it out is Ikes and Stoner didn't really even do anything.
Yeah.
And
only thing I was going to add is, we're only one game in here. Ikes and Stone don't get on the score sheet. You still get a win. That feels great if you're Vegas.
So sick.
Win at home feels great if you're Vegas. But I agree with everything you just said. I think Minnesota played really, really well. Krill looks great. Boldy, obviously, huge game.
Dude, I think they said he had 1 playoff goal in like 12 games or something, and then 2, and he's been such a difference maker for them.
It's
so
big. It's big.
Yep.
So, yeah, I don't think anyone feels bad here. I think Minnesota feels great.
That's a good take.
Feels great with their game. I think Vegas is pumped to get the win, like we said, without those, their biggest guys really scoring. So I love this. We just need to quickly talk about that empty net goal.
Dude.
How fucking awesome was that?
I hope everyone saw the post on our social page. I can't believe, because we trimmed that clip down to try to get it palatable. I wish anyone had heard the rant I was going on in the living room that has been cut out of that video.
Yeah.
Where I was like, actually, let's talk about this for a second. What in the flying fuck was
Hines
Gus doing not out of that goal?
Well, I think it's on Hines and Gus.
Like, dude.
Like, Hines, yank him, dude.
Dude,
like,
you are losing.
I think maybe I posted it. Something, I was like, get the fuck, or maybe it was, I don't know, maybe it was Twitter. I was like, get the fuck out of the net, Gus. People were like, it's not Gus, it's Hines. So I think it's a little bit of both, but that was crazy. He should have been out of the net way more often.
Dude, there's no, sports have become so, for lack of a better term, money-ball-y, and there's metrics that are probably right that are above my pay grade. And I will even add, there are times, for example, when we're playing in beer league, and not to like sewer any teams or anything, but when we're playing on Thursday, I feel like our 5 guys are just better than the other team. So when we're losing by a goal, they're like, should we pull them? And I'm like, no.
Yeah,
because they
fine.
might accidentally score against us, and we can just score just as easily 5-on-5.
Yeah.
This is the NHL. And I'm like, dude, you
got to pull
on a power play.
And it's a playoffs.
Yeah, it's the playoffs, dude. So I'm like, dude, when Vegas like shot one down and Gus was just like he was only like halfway to the bench, so he just stopped it.
He
I was
went
like,
back.
how are you not on the bench, dude? So I was losing my fucking shit. And somebody beats me in the comments, but that fucking should have been clear path. That was ridiculous on Willie.
I agree. I found that mental.
I was like, even the announcer was like, he's clearly about to score. Yeah. So I was so shook, so rattled, and then that, like, I couldn't even believe that went in.
I mean,
I'm not even sure it did go in.
It might not have. But I'm glad they gave it to him for us, but it might not.
Fuck, that was
crazy.
That
was the coolest empty net ever. Okay, last game we're getting into, because for those keeping track at home, Tampa, Florida have not yet played. Last game we're getting into, Devils versus Canes. My hot take of this series. The Carolina Hurricanes have the easiest path to the Stanley Cup.
Damn, dude. Damn.
I think because of the Jack Hughes injury, I don't see the Devils putting up much of a fight. I think we saw this in game 1.
Dude,
Carolina.
This series is Hova.
Hova?
Yeah. And I feel bad about that.
Damn.
But this series is Hova.
So Carolina 4-1 win on Sunday. They just look much better.
And the Devils got even more hurt. Like Luke missed like half the game. I came back
Luke
for the end,
is
but
banged
like,
up now.
There's the Devils got a bad shake. They got a bad shake, and honestly, dude, use this as like get the young boys some playoff reps. Get Keefe some playoff reps. And not that he needs them, but you know what I'm saying, with this new team.
Yeah. So before I talk about the path, and by the way, that's no knock on Carolina. That's just how the cookie crumbles, as Bruce Almighty would say. Or what's his name? Bruce Nolan? Bruce Nolan.
Wow, nice pull.
I think it is.
I don't think I would have got that.
I'm Bruce Nolan.
Yeah.
That's just how the cookie crumbles. It's nothing against Carolina. Before I get into that path, I want to talk about the team. Like I just said, they look so strong. Mm-hmm. They look so strong. The Stankoven trade looks awesome.
I've always loved the Stank man, and I'm rooting for. I honestly feel bad that he was kind of the collateral. Not that being on Carolina is a bad thing, but I'm just saying he kind of feels like the collateral in that, where he's like, what the
happened,
fuck, dude?
Yeah.
Like the Avs,
he's just minding his own business.
The Avs accidentally traded Ranton to the Hurricanes for no fucking reason when they could have just signed him, and then the Canes were like, wait, you hate it here? Yeah. And Dallas was like, we'll take him. And they're like, what do we give us? And they're like, Stankoven. And he's like, what the fuck?
Stankoven's just eating his breakfast, minding his own business, and then he got traded to Carolina. But insane.
He's on a fun, exciting team, and he's been a fucking goal scorer his whole career, dude. His whole career. And he's done it in the playoffs.
2 goals in the playoffs. First game for the Carolina Hurricanes in the playoffs. Looks awesome. And yeah, this team's just strong. Stahl out here doing it yet again. Mm-hmm. And
which is sick.
You needed good goaltending. Again, it's the Devils, who we don't think are at their best, but you got good goaltending from Freddie. And yeah, I think everything is pointing towards a 5 gamer or a 4 gamer here.
And I do want to say though, just quick stick taps to Markstrom, because obviously the Devils made that huge trade to fix that issue. And dude, I'm trying to see if I can find the fucking first period. The shots in the first period, dude. Yeah, here it is. Were 17-5 Carolina. Like they beat the wheels off them. And then in the second period, 21-8. Like
Came out hot,
Markstrom made fucking 41 saves.
It was insane.
He played awesome.
He played so well.
Yeah, but
so I'm glad
Freddie,
you brought that up.
Yeah.
We were watching that game. We were like, Markstrom standing on his fucking head. He's got no help right
So
now.
you feel good about that if you're the Devils moving forward.
Absolutely.
Yep.
I think the thing that impresses me the most about this Hurricanes team is I do really think every year they have a bit of a chip on their shoulder of a smaller market team. No one really takes them seriously. People call them choke artists.
Yep.
They definitely have that chip on their shoulder. But I think after the Rantanen debacle, they really got one. I think they were like, fuck you, dude.
Yep.
Fuck you, Mikko.
Yeah.
And then also fuck you, hockey world, being like, no star player would ever want to play in your city. Blah, 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 blah. And they were just very fucking good after that trade. And then here they are in playoffs. I think those first 2 periods were very much statement periods.
Absolutely.
Against a worse team. No disrespect, Devils, but Carolina's just stronger than you right now. But it was a statement first couple periods and then a statement win. And I think they're going to keep doing it. And what I mean by their path, and then I'll toss it to you, it is the best matchup in the East, I think, this series. As far as like, who do we think had, and I think it's the best matchup. And then after this, you get to avoid what we think is probably the red hot Maple Leafs or the pumped full of piss and vinegar Senators if they beat the Maple Leafs, and then the Battle of Florida.
Yeah.
You don't want to play any of those fucking teams. Let's call it Toronto or one of the Florida teams. You do not want to play those teams. Washington's amazing, but it's like that's the matchup you probably want.
Yep.
So I think they've got the easiest path here.
Dude, they see, and here come the Oilers fans at me again. I'm sorry, but they feel to me like the Oilers of last year in that Vegas, people forget, fell into the wild card last year and then was kicked to the Central because of who they got. So Edmonton played a Kings team who was overmatched.
Much weaker. Yeah.
And then the Canucks without
Demko.
While Winnipeg, and I'll even throw them in there, while Winnipeg, Colorado, Dallas, and Vegas beat the brakes off each other.
Van also lost Besser in that series.
Yeah, and then Edmonton caught Dallas.
Yeah.
And I was like, Dallas is going to kill them in this series. And then Edmonton won in 6 and looked great. Yeah. And I ate crow on that. But I'm just saying that was, in my opinion, a Dallas team that was hobbled after the battle to get there.
Yep.
And if I'm Carolina, I'm kind of thinking the same thing, just like you said. Toronto and Tampa and Florida and Ottawa can beat the wheels off each other, and then you just beat the Devils. And then can you get by the Caps, who were bad last year, and now they're just like playing with house money. You get by the Caps, now you're in the Eastern Conference Finals against a team who I think is better than you, but maybe is limping there.
Yep.
And then boom, you're in the Cup. And I'm like, holy shit, dude, anything can happen. So I think that's cool.
All right, those are our playoff series that we've talked about. I love that we're doing this. If we didn't say it, guys, we're recording at 1 a.m. right now because we want to make sure when these pods come out, everything is up to date. We are going to move on from the playoff talk and quickly talk about some news that broke end of last week. We wouldn't be doing our jobs if we didn't touch on this. We're not going to get deep into it because we believe it is very important to wait for facts, things like that to come out. But news with the New York Rangers. Last week, the news broke that the New York Rangers forward Artemi Panarin and Madison Square Garden Sports, the company that owns the team, paid financial settlements to a Rangers employee last year after she alleged that Panarin sexually assaulted her, according to an NHL source who reviewed the settlements and 3 others briefed about them. We're not going to get into the article, what was said, just this news. Obviously, you hate to hear anything like this.
Oh, it sucks. It sucks. And you want this out of our game, out of every game so badly. As you said, well, at the top, I want to know everything before you weigh in. but the things in the article are not good.
Yep.
And it's not. I never know the phrasing of these, but it's like, there's what I think of when I first hear the word someone's been raped, and it's not that, but there's like pinned down, there's shitty things in the article.
It's awful.
And I will say this, and this is pretty much all I want to say on the topic at this juncture, but it is important, I think, that there is a standard held that everyone is held to in the league. And the way the Team Canada guy stuff was handled, which is like a much bigger allegation, obviously, and is the things I think of when I hear the word rape in that story, right? But when that stuff breaks and it's like those guys are like cut immediately and, like maybe never play again, even if they win a court case. That's like, that wasn't true. They didn't do it. Those guys' careers might have ended. And when I would like there to be some standard of when these big allegations come out about people, I wish there was a thing that would happen that we had all agreed upon versus like this team decides this person can play, this team decides they have to cut that person. I hate that out of it. I even remember, Dan, in the Patriots when it was like Antonio Brown, they got him, they traded it for him, and then there was like an allegation and they were like, we have to cut him. And I was like, well, do we have to cut him? Like, shouldn't we wait to see what happens? But they're like, well, no, morally we do, because that's how we feel. And I respect that.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's crazy to me that it's in the individual team's hands.
Yes.
Does this team feel morally? Does this team? I'm like, I wish there was like if you've been accused of this, you can't play till, or whatever it is. Or
at least suspended.
Yeah. I just wish there was like a
yeah.
blanket thing that we agreed upon.
Yeah. We won't spend too much time on this because, like we said at the top, we do not know the full facts of this. I don't think anyone does other than the parties involved. The article doesn't really give, the victim is not quoted in the article. Obviously, Panarin's not quoted in the article. So I think it's incredibly, incredibly important in these things to wait for all of the facts to come out before you pass judgment on anything, on anyone or anything. Like you said perfectly, there is zero place for this type of stuff in life. Certainly in sports when you are in a position of power as a player, an executive, whatever it be. So it's awful. You hope so passionately that everyone involved is okay, the victims are okay. The one thing I will say and sort of leave this with is I've seen a lot of hateful comments, things like that directed towards Artemi Panarin. I have nothing to say about that because I don't know the facts. What we do know is that a financial settlement was paid that involved the New York Rangers. And I think it's important that as more facts of this come out, equal attention is brought on that.
Yeah,
like I think it is awful that a team, an organization is paying to silence potential, if not certain, sexual assault victims. That's fucking insane to me.
Yeah.
So I hope as we try to better ourselves and better the league more and more with these types of things and hopefully get this shit out of the game permanently, it is not lost on us that teams cannot be fucking paying to keep people quiet when something awful like this happens. I would rather...
The opposite culture should exist.
I would rather a team make an announcement immediately. Like, we found out something happened and we have no place for that on our team.
It's literally like golf when you're like, the ball moved and I am penalizing myself.
Yeah. Okay. We obviously want to just pass on all the thoughts and concerns for anyone negatively involved in stuff like this, and we hope it never finds its way into hockey again.
Taking a quick break to talk to you guys about Bauer. Bauer Hockey has made DP and I Bauer athletes, and it is awesome. To put it quite simply, it is awesome because they hook us up with everything. And I'm a spaz. I have all the training tools. I'm damn near 50 years old, and I don't know what I'm doing trying to get better at hockey, but I am. And Bauer's helping me do it because I've got the shooting board, I've got the shooter tutor, I got a radar gun behind the net, I've got the tiles where I can stick handle, I've got the digital reactor dangler. I'm about to get the skating training. Like, this is insane. It's for beer league, but I'm loving it because you go to Bauer.com and it is a playground. They've got everything there. And of course, beyond my new shinnies, which I just got, and my mitts and my bucket, my prized possession is the Bauer Twitch, the greatest stick ever made by man. And somewhere the great hockey gods of the world are probably playing with lightning bolts that they fashioned into sticks. But until we get access to those, the Twitch is the one. It's feather light, this low kick point that hits and then recoils. It's the only stick that does it. It's got this kick recoil that's absolutely insane. My shot has improved, my handles have improved, and it's cool to look at. It comes in a sick box. I can't say enough cool things about the Twitch. What you're going to have to do is go to Bauer.com and get your hands on one, and then you'll know what I'm talking about. Because until I can get everyone on my beer league team at Twitch, we're never going to win another game. And that is my one mission on earth. Get everyone on a Twitch, get everyone the Bauer training supplies like I'm doing, and then watch your game improve. So go over to Bauer.com, check out all the fun stuff they have to offer.
Taking a break and doing one of my favorite types of ad reads to do right now, and that's to talk to you about Huel. You all know that I am a fitness guy. I'm a nutrition guy. I love all that stuff. I geek out about it, and I'm super, super particular. So when I'm talking to you about Huel right now, you know that this is real. This is stuff that is super important to me. I love it. I get super into it, and Huel has given me and the world such an amazing line of products in the protein and nutrition space. Huel meals and bars, they are providing you 27 essential vitamins and minerals, plus a 100% nutritionally complete balance of protein, essential fats, carbs, and fiber. Had to read all of that for you because it's so unbelievably complex and it's so good for everything. We've got the powder right here, and they've got these unbelievable ready-to-drink meal replacement drinks. My favorite one right now is the iced coffee. I'm not a coffee drinker. I don't really consume caffeine that much, but I do love the taste of coffee. So the Huel ready-to-drink Black Edition iced coffee flavor is so good. It's 400 calories, full meal replacement, 35 grams of protein. Such a huge boost in the middle of the day. I don't like working out in the morning. I like working out in the middle of the day. I like having a little bit of energy going in with a little bit of breakfast in me, some food in me, have some energy, ripping my workout. But sometimes we're on the grind here. We're potting, we're watching games. I can't get that in. I don't have time to eat lunch. And that's where these ready-to-drink meal replacements are so clutch from Huel. It's unbelievable. Like I said, all of those nutrients, all of that great stuff. And here's the kicker. Like I just said, I don't really drink coffee. I don't really drink caffeine. They have vitamin B12 in all of these products that gives you natural energy. It's so clutch. Also has tons of vitamin C, which helps that immune system. You're fighting off colds. We're on the road all the time. We're traveling. We're here right now recording past midnight because we're getting in all these playoff games. Sleep starts to suffer. You need more of that vitamin C. You need to keep that immune system top notch. Huel is helping you out with that too. It's unbelievable, guys. So if you have an on-the-go life, if you're working crazy hours, you don't have time to get a proper meal in, and you want something that tastes good, that's giving you all of those good, unbelievable vitamins, all of those nutrients, getting you enough protein, which is huge. So many of these things, they're not getting you the protein you think. This is what you need. Huel is going to be clutch for you. So new customers, you're going to go to huel.com/netters today. You're going to use our code NETTERS, NETTERS, and you're going to get 15% off your first order plus a free gift. So Huel is hooking you up with a discount and a gift while also taking care of all of your needs. They've got all these different products. They've got bars, they've got the powders, and they've got the ready-to-drink, unbelievable meal replacement beverages. Get on board with the Huel family. I'm telling you, this is stuff I care about. I wouldn't push something I don't believe in and something that I use. Huel is where it's at. Get on board right now.
Okay, let's get into a beer league hotline from our good friends at Labatt Blue.
Hell yeah.
We had 8 guys in our game last night. The late bench weeks are brutal, but it was a good 8. Just a bunch of legends giving it everything we've got. In the third period, we took a penalty. It was a clear trip. The ref had to call it. But we asked the ref if we could be shorthanded for 3 minutes, but no one actually goes in the box since our legs were so gassed already. He said no. Was curious what you guys think about that proposed beer league rule change. If a team has less than 9 skaters, no player has to physically serve any penalties.
We're at a loss for words.
I love this.
Oh, You're bumming me out, I think.
I love this, dude, because it does suck so much.
Absolutely not. I'm not. I don't even think I want to let you speak, dude.
Dude, this...
I genuinely am not sure.
I think this might be the best idea I've ever heard in my life.
I demand that you take that statement back immediately.
This might be the greatest idea.
Listen to me. I demand
of
that you
all
take
time.
that back immediately.
I guess if you're like, if you're the other team, you're like, well, if it was one of their good players, you're like, he needs to be in the box. But they have 8 guys, dude. Like, are you even having fun? I actually can't even believe I'm ever forced to play with 8 guys. I should get a ringer.
I hate you. I respect the question being asked.
Yeah.
That's what Beer League Hotline is for.
Yep.
You're here to lobby questions. This is an absolutely not. The ref made the right call. Again, good on you for asking.
Yeah.
I get it. I get the situation. It sucks. Good on you for asking. The ref made the right call.
It's not that long of a penalty, I guess, either. I'm like,
The bigger thing, dude, the bigger thing is there are rules here.
Dude,
there are rules in
this
life.
This isn't Nom, dude.
It's not Nom. It's not. This isn't warfare.
Yeah.
There are rules here. In fact, there are rules in warfare. Rules of
Yeah.
engagement. There are rules here. You have to follow them. And I think the one scenario that does it enough for me is, let's say they go, actually, yeah, sure. And then that guy gets a shorty.
And then I'm pissed.
And you're
And
like,
then I'm fuming.
what are we doing here?
Yeah.
So
He's in the box.
there are no stupid questions.
Yeah.
That exists in elementary school. It exists in life. There are no stupid questions. No such thing as a stupid question. I believe that. Always ask questions.
Yep.
Always see what you can get away with. Always see what is allowed. So good on you for asking the questions, but this was the correct decision. We can't let this fly, because if we let this fly,
What next?
then everything's flying.
What next, dude?
So this is a tough one. I get it, but
What about if it goes 5-on-3, the second guy doesn't physically serve? Because I'm like, dude, come on.
it's same thing, dude. Same result.
Mm-hmm.
It blows, dude. This
Yeah,
blows.
this blows.
The only way that we'll have this discussion is if you're a 5-on-3 and then 2 more guys take a penalty, and now you're like, we literally don't have enough people on the bench. Then they'd be like, okay, someone can stay.
Dude, you know what? Okay, I think you're right, but I actually do think this, and he said in this, it was a clear trip, but I actually think if a team has less than 9 guys at beer league,
Yeah.
the ref flat out should not call a penalty. Because even if they go, dude, that was a trip, I'm like, are you not winning the game, dude? Like, aren't you guys up a few goals against the fucking 8 guys, dude? I'm letting them play. They've got 8 guys.
I disagree.
Let 'em play.
It's the game, dude. I think let them play exists for things that don't have a huge. If you're up 5 goals, and even if there's a clear trip, then I'm like, yeah, whatever, dude. But if that game's close at all,
I'll hear that.
have to call it.
Call the trip, serve the penalty.
no, more than it's a
No,
1-goal game, 2-goal game.
No, a tie
yes,
game.
idiot.
Tie game.
You're being an idiot.
Tie game,
There
8
are-
guys.
the-
8 guys? 8 guys?
We're playing hockey, dude. We're not playing fucking broom ball in the dorm room. Shut up.
I got one. Penalty called on the 8-guy team. That guy serves in the box, but instead of 5-on-4, it's 4-on-3. So you're still getting your power play, but just we can have some more fresh legs.
It's just
Boom, we did it.
no. It's also
4-on-3.
dumb.
We did it.
Ref made the right call.
Thank you to Labatt Blue. We did it.
Ref made the right call. Let's go into a little closeout with a nice Bauer hockey blind ranking. This week, we're doing playoff goalies. Wags, what do you got for us?
Binner.
Damn.
Dude, I didn't want that one to start at all. At all.
I am going to say this sucks because Binner, 2019 Binner, is about as good as it gets.
I know.
End of the season Binner,
about as good as it
gets. But when I think about the goalies in playoffs, and you know what's nice is we have some sample sizes. So there are some guys that I would have been like, oh, real good.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I'm going to say 4.
Is there any world Any world in the multiverse.
Say 1 and get...
No, Dan. Where the 0-2 winner is 5.
I don't think so.
Like, who do you even want to put below him?
I think there's a man who I really...
Actually,
there's a man
yes.
who I really, really love
Yep.
who just got lit up like a Christmas tree.
Yep, you're right. I'm okay with 4.
We're going to go 4.
4.
Darcy.
And unfortunately, I do have to go 5 here.
I think so too.
And that is not what I wanted to happen.
It really blows.
It's not what I wanted to happen.
Because he's what I'm saying.
all,
Like
dude.
he's a guy that I'm having a 2 conversation.
Yeah, I
with.
know. If we weren't literally sitting here at 1:30 in the morning.
And that just wasn't a great performance. Again, this is just after what
But
we've
here's the
seen.
thing. What if we get Skinner?
For the respect of the game, has Binner been better than Darcy?
Yes,
So we have to go 5.
because we don't know. Okay. Darcy 5.
LT.
Nice.
LT solid. And
3.
I think, right?
3.
Just in case.
I mean, we're going to get sewered here, very possibly.
I know.
Wags, don't fuck us based
Dude,
on what we've been
but
saying.
Dan,
Don't fuck
actually,
us.
could we go LT higher than that?
Yeah, we could go 2.
We could, right? Because I just feel like some
Let's
of
go
these
2.
other guys.
Let's go 2. No, he's been great. He was
Let's go-
great in
let's
that
go
game.
LT 2.
2.
Ottinger.
Okay.
I actually like that at 3. I'm so glad you went 2.
Fucking
Are
genius.
you crazy?
I'm a genius.
Oh, I thought you were going to say, 3. Move on.
Yeah.
Go right
I
into
think-
it. That's
so-
a
so
3.
what's
so
left?
our number 1,
Aiden Hill.
Okay, I'll take that.
I think,
I'll take
given
that.
the list,
I think
that's
I'll take
actually
that 100%.
perfect.
I think it's
right.
100%. We did a perfect list, dude. We did a perfect list.
Yeah. I
God.
think there's a world where you might say LT could have been 1.
No. Hill.
I like it.
I'm thrilled.
I like this list.
Thrilled.
Given-
That went, dude.
Given what's going on.
After 2, I was like, this is going to go horribly.
Yeah. Shout out Wags leaving off some absolute fucking bangers there, keeping us on our fucking toes.
Yes.
That is great stuff. Okay. That is it for us tonight at the Empty Netters podcast. But before we leave, a lot of announcements.
Yes.
Here's the deal, folks. Going to be posting something on the page tomorrow, so you see this as well. But new playoff schedule is about to go banana sandwich. We've got our regular podcast dropping every Tuesday and Thursday morning per usual. Don't fret. Everything is exactly the same. Nothing about your life is changing as far as that. That said, every single Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, your boys are going to be coming to you live on our YouTube channel. So if you're not subscribed, now's the time to do that. But for the entirety of the playoffs, we are going to be giving you guys every single morning, Monday to Friday, morning hockey content.
And I would add up-to-date, topical
Hell yeah.
morning hockey content.
So, Monday morning, bright and early on the West Coast.
Yeah. Yeah, not say that time. 9 a.m.
9 a.m.
Pacific.
So
12
noon.
Eastern.
We're going to be coming live on our YouTube. After that, that will go up on Spotify. It'll be on the YouTube. You can watch it, but it will be live, 9 a.m. Pacific, every Monday, every Wednesday, and every Friday. And then every Tuesday and Thursday, the pods will come out. We will be recording the previous night. So everything's getting covered. We're going to be up to date on every single game. So every single morning for you during the work week, we are going to have hockey content for you in the morning that you can listen to, that you can watch, and you can inject straight into your veins. It's going to be fantastic. Make sure you are subscribed to that goddamn YouTube so you don't miss it. Tune in. You guys can shoot us questions while we're recording live. We can talk to you live, answer some of your stuff. It's going to be fucking awesome. It's going to be super fun. We can't wait to see you. Love it.
Love it.
I'm absolutely pumped. We're going to be doing bingos.
Yo, yeah.
Bingo is
Bingo
back.
coming back.
Shout out Sully. I know you're happy about that. But it is a new day with the Empty Netters podcast. We're coming to you every single fucking day now. So get
Playoffs,
ready.
baby.
Strap in. We are 3 days into playoffs, and it's already absolutely lunacy.
God, playoff hockey is so sick.
Love it. We will see you tomorrow and the next day. And until then,
Skate hard.